This transformation's powered by Jobber. Give me 34 minutes of your time, and I'll show you how we cleaned up these 5 sidewalks that span over a mile. They were forcing people into the street, and you already know we can't have that here, so let's go ahead and get them all cleaned up. I hadn't noticed it before, but that sidewalk is actually on the way to my mom's house. It's been overgrown and uneven for months, but one day I saw a high school kid riding his scooter in the street. He had barely made it off the sidewalk before a wave of traffic came flying by, and that moment stuck with me. This wasn't just messy, it's another dangerous sidewalk. Okay, so I'm just thinking about it, and some people really struggle to grow grass in their yard, and I keep running into this stuff that's just growing in concrete. I don't understand it, but if we got to get it cleaned up. This one has taken over 12 hours, not because it's massive, but because we're doing it right. We're pulling all the weeds from the root to keep it from growing back, and this kind of work just takes some time, but it really will make a huge difference. One neighbor told me he stopped walking his dog this way because he was afraid of tripping into the street. And now that the concrete is finally becoming visible again, it really feels like a part of the neighborhood is starting to wake back up. If you appreciate us doing this the right way and not just rushing it, go ahead and hit the like button. It's going to help me way more than you know. So this ended up taking me a whole lot longer than I expected. And because of that, I'm going to have to leave to go pick my daughter up from school. And I'm not going to be able to come back today. So we're going to have a slight change of plans on what we're going to do next. Instead of focusing on cleaning up this edge that we've got right here, we're going to worry about that tomorrow when I can come back. And instead, we're actually going to focus on clearing out this sidewalk right here, just so that way it's at least safe for people to use. Also, I haven't done this in a long time, but I really did forget to hit record while I was string trimming next to the fence and along the street. So I guess this time it just wasn't meant to be. Since we have access to the sidewalk, this is going to be okay for now. Off camera, I'm going to go ahead and pick up all the trash that's just right here and all the plants that we just tossed off to the side so that way we can load it up, and I'll see you in the morning. So it's not real early in the morning because I had to take care of some stuff for work, but we're going to go ahead and have a slight change of plan just to make this a little bit easier. We're actually going to go ahead and focus on getting all of this stuff pulled up first, and then we're going to go ahead and mow everything down. After we do that, we're going to go ahead and focus on the edge. And then we had more trash blow up to the side from last night, so we're gonna have to pick that up as well. About 3 blocks down, still on the same street, there's another sidewalk. This one is right next to a firehouse, and it hit me different. A fire station is supposed to be a safe place, but the sidewalk leading up to it, it's clearly not. We even caught footage of somebody jogging by, and he was having to dodge the weeds that are just stretching across the sidewalk. All right, so I came over to the truck to get a drink so I can explain what we're about to do. I'm going to go ahead and speed this part up just because this honestly took a little more than 30 minutes for us to get all of this stuff pulled. I did want to make sure that as we're pulling all this stuff that it doesn't come back. but also because we're using the smaller mower, this is going to make it a little bit easier on my equipment as well.
Now, everything you're seeing here, we do it completely for free. I'm able to take on these projects because my lawn care business runs efficiently, and that's thanks to Jobber. They've been a huge help with scheduling, estimates, and invoicing, and just keeping the business side of things running so smooth that I can focus more time on helping my community. Because of that balance, I was finally able to take my family on a vacation too. I'll share some of those pictures at the end of the video, just some beautiful moments that we'd waited all year for. If you want to go ahead and support the channel or try out Jobber for yourself, there's a link down in the description, or you can just go ahead and scan the QR code on screen.
The camera actually died while I was blowing off the dirt on the sidewalk, and so I'm going to let it charge up just a little bit more, eat my burrito for lunch, and then we'll get back to it.
Now that I feel like we've made the firehouse safe, I noticed that not far from here, it's actually in the same neighborhood, is another sidewalk that is being slowly overtaken by a cactus. You can still pass by, but you're gonna have to either walk in the street or in someone's yard. It's one of those things where if we wait too much longer, we're gonna need a whole lot more than just some hand tools. So instead of letting it take over completely, we're gonna go ahead and step in now.
If you're wondering why the camera angle is a little bit weird, well, I may have ripped a hole in my pants. And before you ask, yeah, my underwear is making a guest appearance. Good news though, I've learned to keep a backup pair of pants in the truck, so it's not going to be like this for the entire video. We just finished unloading everything at the South Plains Wildlife Rescue, and they actually explained a little bit about what they do. They're a nonprofit organization, and they actually take in animals that have been injured and are unable to care for themselves. We actually got to meet Thor the box turtle, and so it's really nice to know that a cactus that was once a nuisance is now going to be put to good use.
This cleanup was the longest sidewalk I've ever taken on. From the beginning, I knew it was going to be a challenge. We have long and thick weeds that are clearly been untouched for a long time. But then halfway through, I found something I wasn't expecting. I'm not going to show it because it's kind of gross.
We got a big old chunk of asphalt over here that I just physically can't pick up, and so I'm not going to throw my back out. We're just going to go ahead and leave it here. I did want to go ahead and show you some of these stumps that we have right here. I mean, these things are just absolutely massive, and they're growing up in the concrete. And so I'm going to go ahead and put a stump killer down just to make sure that they die off, because there's no way we're going to dig all of this out. All right, so something over there just really stinks. I mean, it's pretty bad. I haven't figured out exactly where it is yet, so we're just definitely gonna have to kind of keep an eye out for it. Maybe if we're lucky, the wind's blowing the smell in and it's not something that's just right here. Oh, God. I found out what stinks. Unfortunately, somebody's cat has moved on and passed away. They're no longer with us, and he's right here on the sidewalk. So I went ahead and found a diaper box over here in the alley. I'm going to pick the cat up to where you can't see him, and I'm going to put him in the box, and I'm going to go bury him later tonight after my kids go to bed. Whiskers doesn't deserve that. That was somebody's pet. This area right here, we're just gonna go ahead and hit with the string trimmer because it's kind of tight for the mower, and there's a big old hole like right there, and I really don't want to get it stuck. Also, we're gonna go ahead and just cut this board right here because it's pretty stable, and look, it's got nails sticking out. Came over here to take a break and get a drink, and honestly, I was just gonna say, it's actually kind of nice to be able to see somebody use the sidewalk even before we're done. I can't believe I forgot to hit record whenever I was blowing off the sidewalk. Now I'm gonna go ahead and spray along the fence line just to kill all the grasses and the stumps that are right there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and hit everything that was in the street. We had an awful storm last night. I mean, it blew in a bunch of trash, destroyed all the plants, and it even broke my daughter's window. We have another storm blowing in tonight, and so I'm gonna go ahead and get my windows boarded up because I have to take care of my family first. Then we're gonna go ahead and start helping everybody in the neighborhood.